What's going on, YouTube? ClayQZult back again with another Disgaea RPG video, and today I'm going to talk all about what I've learned so far about equipment, how you can use item world to make better equipment, and how to use innocence as well. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to discuss is how to get your hands on some equipment, some of the better equipment, and how to slowly progress to get more and more stats on them. What you're going to want to do is in your Dark Assembly, always upgrade your shop. As you upgrade your shop, this is where most of your equipment is going to come from, and your daily resets will be great here. You're going to look for equipment in here, and as you can see, I have swords in here now because I'm customer rank 17 that allow me to get an attack of 4,800, and that is non-leveled. That's pretty strong so far in the game for me, at least, and the higher we get that customer rank up, the better off we're going to be. Now, we are limited. As you can see, I cannot go any higher on my customer rank in my Dark Assembly, and that is due to my progression in the main storyline. So I'm gonna have to keep going doing main scenario and episodes in order to unlock that again in the Dark Assembly, and you'll see a lot of those things open up. One of the things I didn't know, which is how I got caught up, is you can actually spend nether quartz to re-up your Dark Assembly points, and honestly, I went ahead and did it. It depends on you, free to play, pay to win, whatever you are, dolphin, somewhere in between. It's gonna be up to you, but I highly suggest this early on if you're looking to get a little bit of a boost. It doesn't cost too much, and it never goes up. It's not like you refill it and then the next time you refill it, it costs more, like in some games. In this game, it's always going to be, I think, from 0 to 150 is what it seems like. And if you're missing less points, it actually costs less of your quartz. So it's going to be up to you guys if you want to do that. Now, moving over to the shop, like I said, when picking equipment, you really need to go in and look at it. Like, you could find a legendary that has less attack than a common, and it really comes down to the rank of the item. So, you know, we can look through here, and you're looking for legendaries, rares, all the way up the thing, and buy them up. And you want to buy some of these items just to level up. I'm even running some common items, some common swords on both of my units right now. It's really going to depend on what you like and what you're looking for. The higher rarity means the more population the item will have, which means the more innocence we can put on, which means the more boosting we can do to that item. And you can come in here and buy some that have a ton of innocence as well. That way we can run them through item world. I'll explain it in a minute. So you can unlock those innocence and hold on to them for later to put on some better items. You can do the same for armor here. You get X amount of refreshes for free a day. I wouldn't suggest going over that unless you were really hurting for some equipment. But that is how you get your equipment. There's one other way. Obviously, story can give you some for completions. You get a really strong muscle accessory you can get from getting defeated, I think, 5,000 times from the Nether Hospital. It's going to have a lot of HP on it, which is going to be great. And then in actual item world itself, you're going to be able to go in, battle. There'll be bosses. They can drop loot as well to get your hands on some nice pieces of loot. So that's how you get a hold of it. Next up, let's talk about innocence, right? So you see a bunch of smiley faces on my equipment, or you see some mean frowny faces. And what that means is either the innocence is captured, you've subdued them, they're on your team and they're being used, or so if you click on here, you can see that I have some of them. They say common, they can go all the way up to legendary, and that increases the stat that it has attached to it. And if they're meanie face, though, that means they are not unlocked, and we're gonna have to go to item world to run into them. Okay, so that's gonna be very important. I'll go through that process in a minute. You can see that this one says brain common, so most likely going to be intelligence. So you can kind of look at them and look through your items to see which ones you want to run through, but you can also just run them all, because one item world does not cost any kind of AP that you need, so any kind of energy, and you can just keep rerunning it. If you die, you rerun it again, you rerun it again. So you're getting some experience, you're unlocking innocence, you're leveling up your stuff. You could be getting deaths for the Nether Hospital to get that nice one. So that's how that's going to work. And what you do is, so let's say I look at an item here. So let's take a look at my Thorny Whip, right? We can see that on my Thorny Whip that I have currently equipped to my Desco, that it has a extremely high attack stat. Now, this is early in the game. For me, it's pretty high. And I put a lot of attack boosts onto it. The first thing you need to learn about innocence is they only affect the item that they're on, so the piece of equipment. If this item had no attack on it at all, if this was an in item and had no attack, these would be wasted on it. These attack innocence would be wasted. So what you can do, actually, is let's go find a piece of armor that I've been leveling up. Let's take a look at this aura belt. We have, like, perfect example. I was running this in item world, I unlocked an innocence, and it's a speed boost innocence. Well, there's no speed on this item, so I'm actually getting nothing from this. So what I want to do is go to innocent transfer, and I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to put it in my pool. Look how many I have here waiting to be put on items, and now I have it saved away, and that was free to do. When it becomes not free is when you throw one a piece, or an innocence, excuse me, onto a piece that didn't belong there, or didn't go there in the first place. Now to remove it, it is going to cost me some HL, but it's not the biggest amount of HL in the world. I can take that back off. So on this item in particular, or a belt, if I was going to use it, you can see it has a lot of HP and a lot of attack. I would be wanting to slap on HP percent and attack percent, right? And obviously, you want to keep unlocking these innocents, because if you get them saved up, when you get even bigger items, even better items with your rank in the weapon world, or excuse me, in the weapon shop, you're going to get them, but the innocents still will buff them. They will still be good. Now, obviously, you're looking for better than common. You're looking for rare. It's obviously better, legendary. But this is how this really works and breaks down. So remember, only put innocents on an item that has the stat that is attached to that innocent. So like here, int, I can buff int. I can buff my resistance boost because it is there. So you want to work with it like that and go particularly for the unit and what stats they may want or they may need. Now we're going to move over to Item World. I'm going to show you guys exactly how that works and what I'm doing in there. So Item World is going to be a place you go to grind your gear up, get it stronger, but also at the same time, it's going to be a place that you can grind endlessly without energy. So this is going to be like I need a little bit of a break. My team's just going to auto, and I don't have any energy. So you can still get experience. You can still, you know, work on some items, work on getting some innocence. It's a great place to spend when you're out of energy in the game so you can keep playing. So what I'm going to do is normally I go in here, and if I don't have anything of, you know, importance, anything that has a priority that I need to level up, I'll go find something that has a ton of innocence attached to them, right? So I'll go look for something like this sturdy egg, for example, and I'll take a look at it, and you can see it's a bunch of common innocence, but I still need them, right? I still need innocence to put on other things, certain attack ones or intelligence ones. So I'm going to run through it and unlock all of it. Now, as you run through Item World, you will face bosses at certain floors, and depending on how the actual rarity of the item depends on how many floors of Item World you'll do. So you see at Legendary, we have 100. At Common, we only get through, I think, what is it, 30 floors, and then Rare, we get 60. So that is going to be a big deal, particularly because you run it longer, and also because it allows you to fight bosses and possibly drop better loot from those bosses in Item World. Like I think it's like a Item God or something you fight at the end is what it's called. So what I'll do is I'll click the sturdy egg, and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to run this just to get the innocence. I'm probably not going to use the piece of equipment, but I want to get the innocence. So I'll go into Item World, I'll select my party that I want to run, and I'll just hit battle. Once inside, again, I'm going to be using auto to go through it. I think that's what you guys should be doing too. And you can see here on the left, we have auto advanced and auto subdue. Auto advance means that it will just go from level 1 to level 2 automatically. It will keep progressing the levels until it gets up to level 100. You die, or you run into an innocent. So I was worried when I first did this that if it would just skip over an innocence and kill it, right? However, it's not going to work like that. It will actually stop. The only way you can get it to take that innocence down for you is to have subdue tickets, auto subdue tickets. They come from bundles. They seem pretty rare to me. So that is not something you're going to be able to do. So while you can leave this and forget it for a while, it will pause when it runs into an innocent. So you need to pay attention to that. So see, I beat level 1 and it automatically is going into level 2. I got my items, I got my experience, and now it's just auto farming for me. So what I want to do now is skip ahead to when an innocent shows up. So it didn't take that long, and we're already on to our next innocence, which is level 3. It's the first one on this one that we're fighting. And this, from what I understand, is all over the place. You could fight some back to back. You randomly run into them as you go through all the levels the item has. You guys can let me know in the comments below if it's a certain time that they show up. But for me, it's been random. So if we look at the top right, again, it auto stopped on this. Okay, I was autoing, and it stopped as soon as it got to an innocence. Top right, we have an affinity. What this affinity means is that is pretty much your percent chance to capture or subdue the innocence, make it turn into a smiley face. You can remove it, you can use it, put it on whatever item you want. We have two ways we can do this. One, we can bribe the innocents. So we can bribe the innocents, use some of these items here that we use from the Dark Assembly, but I would highly suggest against this. The reason being, we are early on in the game. These innocents aren't top priority. Like if they were legendary, super high leveled, maybe we want to bribe them. But for now, I'd skip over this. Save it for the Dark Assembly. You'll need it there. These items are kind of rare. And again, buy them from the item shop. Like you can get the golden candy and gold bar. I remember in a video earlier, I was like, I don't know if you buy these. You do. You buy them up for the HL, okay? Because you'll need them. Instead, what you can do is hit the subdue button. It attempts to subdue the enemy. The enemy will have three responses. One, it will become subdued, have a smiley face, go into your pocket. Two, it will turn an angry face, which means you have another chance. It sticks around, you have another chance to subdue. Or three, exclamation point, runs away. Think of it like a Pokemon. It can run away from you, okay? And then you never get it back. It's gone forever. But it's okay because it's lower. And every time you attempt to subdue, that affinity goes up. So let's watch. I'm going to hit subdue. He says no, but watch my affinity went up a little bit. I'm gonna do it again. Subdue. Yes, boom, I caught him. So that's it. That is the whole thing. Then I hit auto again, and I just start running through the item world. And that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's what you're gonna be doing. And you're just hoping for some really nice innocence to begin with, and you want to start stockpiling and getting that experience and all that good stuff. So that is what I've learned so far with weapons. You can see that I had an HL boost there. It showed it at the end, but it skipped over it. I got an HL boost one, which is going to be great when I'm farming that gold up, you know what I mean? But that's everything I've learned with early on equipment. Obviously, as I progress through the game, I'll keep releasing guides to show more and more how you can become stronger with this stuff. But I'm just excited because it just seems like a really cool system that I'm really pumped to play around with. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any more tips or pointers about equipment. If you have any more questions that I can cover, subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.